Although our drought conditions have improved, frustrations over the water conditions are still being felt. Some in the agriculture community say the valuable resource is not being managed properly. But as News Channel 5's Kate Parker reports, others say there's a delicate balance over when and where the water can be allocated.
The 2011 drought is one that will certainly be memorable for most, but for some, it's more than that. It's another year of a troubling trend.
They plan for a 1 in 10 year drought. We've had 4. Now, what's different?
4 years of drought since 2001, rather than the estimated once in 10 years. This pattern is not typical for South Florida. However, since the 2007 drought that caused Lake Okeechobee to drop to an all-time low, the South Florida Water Management District has put steps in place to help conserve water levels.
The federal government works on a regulation schedule of the lake, and this was agreed upon by stakeholders a couple of years ago. And it basically tells them at this time of year the lake should be at this level, and you can make your releases accordingly to keep it at that level. They don't want to see it get too high, they don't want to see it get too low. So it is a very unique balancing act they have.
It's crucial to keep water levels low enough to protect the integrity of the Herbert Hoover Dike. But this year, La Nina controlled the weather pattern, making for the driest dry season on record. Water releases continued for Lake Okeechobee all the way through March, when we were already well into drought conditions. Those late releases led to some criticism from sugarcane growers who rely on water from the lake to keep their crops healthy.
They're turning a deaf ear to concerns about water shortages that they could fix. They could fix this.
Sugarcane crops went through a very tough time during the month of June when lake levels were too low to bring adequate amounts of water down the canals that are used for irrigation. Water restrictions were put in place to try to conserve what water was left.
What we do is try to put in restrictions that will limit landscape irrigation to the point where you can really see at least a stop in the dramatic drop in our groundwater levels.
Slowly but surely, we are pulling our way out of the drought. But will this season become a lesson for those to follow as water managers try to balance the safety of the dikes with the water for the crops? Kate Parker, WPTV, News Channel 5.